I don't. If I could get KD on the Warriors and I could trade Wiggins and Moody, and a pick, I'm doing it. But I'm not trading. I'm not trading James Wiseman for a 33-year-old Kevin Durant when I'm the defending champion and he's looking for a new home, and they're up against a wall with no leverage. And I'm sure as hell not trading Jonathan Kuminga, and I'm sure as hell not trading Jordan Poole, and I'm sure as hell not trading all of them. And this idea that the Warriors would somehow consider trading all of these guys, or at least, I don't care. I mean, I realize KD's good. KD's 33. Hey, he's already blown out an Achilles. There's no way I'm making that trade.
That trade he proposed, Mark Spears, he said Wiggins, Wiseman, Kuminga, and Moody.
I mean, I've already hung up the phone.
They can't even trade Wiggins unless they got a third team involved to take Ben Simmons because of the whole.
But I mean, I wouldn't trade any of those. I mean, I would trade Wiggins, and I would trade Moody. Yep. But I'm not trading you Wiseman or Poole or Kuminga. He's 33. How many years do basketball players play?
Right. I mean, I would do the Wiggins and Moody, and if it took 3 or 4 more future picks, but I'm not trading Kuminga, Poole, or Wiseman because that's your foundation for the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've come off it. My prediction was the Suns, and I still feel that if it gets done, it's with the Suns. But I now think that the Gobert thing, I think they kind of got bulky the way Bulky overpaid for Christian. What was the
receiver Christian Kirk?
Christian Kirk. I think that I think it's over now because the Gobert went for essentially like 6 first-round picks. I think he just 5, but if you include Walker Kessler, I mean that was
4 picks. It was 4 ones and Kessler.
4 ones, Kessler, and then is there not? And then I think a swap. Either way, I mean it's just a shockingly, and plus all the players they gave up. They gave up good players. So I think they just screwed up the market because if Gobert's worth that, then what the hell is KD worth with 4 years left on his deal? So now it's to a point where they can no longer. I mean, nobody has the package outside of the Warriors and the Pelicans. And the Suns certainly don't have the package. And
yes,
if I'm the Nets owner,
it's also about KD, right? Isn't KD? Yeah. KD's going to get to call. I mean, this is the NBA. The players call the shots. If he says he doesn't have a no trade, but essentially he does because he's Kevin Durant. Nobody's going to trade the kind of assets it's going to take to acquire him if he's not all in. So he can basically say, "Hey, I want to play for the Warriors," and then it's just Sean Marks can make the best deal he can possibly make with the Warriors, and that's it. I think, I don't know. I look at this as KD holds all the cards. Now, I've had people push back and say, no, they're not going to just trade him anywhere he wants, that they're going to push back on him. But I don't know about that. I mean, unless there are multiple teams that he's cool with, I think he goes where he wants to go. Now, according to Mark Spears, Bob Myers called the Nets expressing interest in Durant. And from what I'm hearing here is that Lakeup would like Durant. We'll see. It sounds like
this. Would you trade if it was one's involved and a player and Green was involved? Would you do that? Green and some ones and maybe Moody.
First of all, I don't think that gets it done, but I wouldn't. I'm not. I don't. Draymond Green is. I'm going to the finish line with Draymond Green. I'm going to the finish line with Steph, Clay, and Draymond. That's how I feel about it.
You're gonna extend Clay and Draymond. I think they're due for extensions later this summer.
Yeah, I would, but I would. I try to do it. I try to do it. What's that?
They still got 2 years left. You're gonna extend them beyond that. Now you're strapping yourself.
Well, I don't know if I would extend him until the deal ran out, but I would try to give him a deal where it was less and less, instead of escalating, a de-escalator. In the deal.
I don't think after three years from now, Draymond's 35, 36. 6. I don't know. What is he? 32
Which is all the more reason you should be able to retain him and for a reasonable amount.
Send him for a reasonable amount. Also, just cleaning up the Gobert trade. So it's a 2023 first round pick, a 2025 first round pick, a 2026 pick swap, a 27 first round pick, and a 29 first round pick. And that's the only one that's protected. And that's only top 5 protected. So essentially 6 first round picks, plus Walker Kessler, who was a first round pick, plus Jared Vanderbilt, who looked awesome in the playoffs versus the Grizzlies. Malik Beasley looked awesome. Patrick Beverley was still a big part of like shutting down Morant. So just a crap ton to give up. And now I just don't see how you, if you're the Nets, I mean, their owner has to be like, I think he just needs to get in a room with Kevin Durant and Kevin Durant's guy. What I forget his name.
You mean
Joe Tsai,
Rich Kleiman?
Get a room with Rich Kleiman, Kevin Durant, and Joe Tsai, and just say, look, we're open to trading you, but unfortunately, there's nothing out there. There's no deals that are going to line up with us getting what we need back and you going where you want. So let's figure this out. We have flexibility. Actually, if you look at their roster from top to bottom with the signings, getting TJ Warren and with Ben on paper,
Joe Harris will be back, and he's a great shooter.
Yeah, Seth Curry. They have a team. They've got a squad. Patty Mills coming back. They just have
the only place he knows he could have a title is here.
For sure. Either here or the Suns, which is why I think the Suns would be in play, but I don't think they have the assets.
How much, though, do the Suns have to give up, and would they be as good?
Well, it's not how much. It's like, would the Nets take Ayton? And maybe the Nets don't want Ayton. That's the thing. And if Ayton's not part of that deal, there's no deal. It's like with the Warriors. It would be like if nobody wanted Wiggins. Well, then there's no deal because Wiggins has to be included in the deal from the Warrior perspective to accommodate KD's salary. So, it's a deal breaker.
If I'm the Nets, though, I look at KD and say, look, we signed you for 4 years. We paid you a full year when we knew that you were sitting out. You were coming off Achilles surgery. We took the chance believing that you were going to be the same player that you were before the injury. We got 4 years left. We'd like to run it to the finish with you at least another year. Give us another year. Give us your best.
I'll play KD. No, I want to be traded. Now what?
Now, all right, KD, you want to wait?
Danny's immediately thwarted. He's like, oh, okay, that's gone. Now I got to go plan B. Because that is the NBA. The players have tons of leverage.
Okay, then I'm going to say you want to.
I would just say you want to, Kevin Durant, your whole life is basketball. You care about legacy more than anything. You want to sit out an entire year of your prime.
Pull an AD. You want to pull an AD at age 34. You've already sat out 1 year with your injury. Now you're 33 years old. You're going to take a whole nother year off. Go ahead. I paid you millions of dollars. I gave you a contract.
Traded for James Harden, added Ben Simmons. all kinds of.
They can't even bottom out because their picks are tied up for the next 7 years. So
right. So I would play hardball. I would do that, Rye. I would be a little harder and just say, look, this is a championship capable team. You got.
There's thoughts out there that are leaking that are like, actually the KD thing may have been more about trying to get Kyrie some leverage. Putting that trade request out there was more about getting Kyrie some more leverage with the management, which is bananas.
GD5 says KD's going to be 34 in 2 months.
Yeah. So he's 34. He's not going to sit out his age 34 because if he comes back at 35, he's not going to be the same player.
I just don't think I'd want to be the team that trades for him now because he's never really stayed anywhere for 4 years for the most part. And then on the whoever's holding that contract at the back end is getting stuck with it. Because you're not going to be able to divest yourself of that contract when he's 37. Nobody's going to take it.
Full
so what if KD makes himself an island unto himself? And I my whole thing with KD has nothing to do with his game. It has all to do with his personality. It's just there's a lot of drama involved with Durant. He said some things about Kerr. I don't know how they get beyond that. He said some things about Steph. I don't know how they get beyond that. He said some things about Green. I don't know if they had get beyond that, and that's the old stuff. What if there's new issues that pop up, and then all of a sudden you've divested maybe yourself of Wiseman and Kuminga and Moody, and it's just, to me, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. It's like it could result in one more title, but guess what? You could win a title anyway without him. So you've already proven that that you need him less than he needs you, right? So isn't that kind of proven?